Alright. Okay, this is a DMM. There are many different types of DMM, but they all have some similarities. So, a couple of things you need to know. We need to learn about the dial settings and which inputs to use. Dial settings and which input to use. This first video is showing you how to measure voltage or resistance. So notice we're going to use these two sets of inputs. Notice it's labeled right underneath. This is typical on most DMMs. So I'm going to have a black lead, I'm going to have a red lead, and now I can measure either voltage or ohms. So if I want to measure voltage, be careful. This wavy symbol means AC. Go ahead. That's AC, this wavy symbol here. Over here, that's DC, the straight lines. So this is like batteries. This is like power from a wall socket. All right. So if I want to measure a battery voltage right here, or right here, I'm going to turn this to some setting. Maybe let's go right here to the lowest setting and watch. I'm going to put this sensor on here, put this sensor on here, and notice I don't get anything. If I change the setting, now I do get a reading. If I change it to a higher setting, I get fewer sig figs, fewer sig figs. So in practice, what you do is you start at the highest setting, keep going till you hit over limit, and then you back it off one setting to get maximum sig figs. Now you might notice this is kind of annoying because I don't have my hands free. So a practical thing is to instead use two banana cables like this, and now I can literally clip these onto here like this and like this, and notice it's clipped to the metal on one side and plastic on the other, but at least one side is clipped to the metal. You have to have metal to metal contact. Now if I want to measure DC voltage, I start at the highest setting, keep dropping it, that means over limit, I back it off one. Another thing you could do is this says up to 2, up to 20, up to 200 volts. So if you know the approximate range, you can also set it that way. Again, DC volts, adjust the range, these cables. If I want to measure resistance, here's a resistor. I'll put it on this sheet of paper so maybe you can see it a bit better. Make sure the leads aren't touching, and now of course there's no voltage across it, it's not a battery. So I'm going to do the same thing. This means up to 2000 mega. Can you zoom in on that? Notice right here there's an M for mega. This is a little m for millivolts, this is millivolts, this is mega ohms. Mega ohms, kilo ohms, kilo ohms, kilo ohms, and down here is just not, no prefix. So now as I adjust this, this is a small resistor, so it should take a while. Oh, we're starting to see it. So this particular resistor has a resistance of 98.7 ohms. And because we're on the 200 setting that has no prefix, this is 98.8 ohms. You see there's a little bit of float there. That's how you measure resistance. A cool trick, if you want to see if your cables are working, you can set this to the continuity checker, and now it will beep if you have a short circuit. So this is a good feature. It allows you to say, well, at least I know my cables are good. That's it.